Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today's project is we want to make a quick and simple scabbard for this knife. It came with this vinyl sheath or scabbard, whatever you want to call it, and it's obviously not up to the task. And I have this piece of plywood I salvaged from an old cabinet, and it's 1/8 of an inch thick. I don't know if you can see that against my finger, just a millimeter or two. And I think this would be a good material for this project. As I measure the knife, it's coming up around 2 inches or whatever that is, 5 centimeters or so. And it's a good 9 inches long, whatever that is, 23 centimeters or so. And what I'm thinking is I've got a clear section of plywood kind of running in the middle, and I don't quite have 6 inches in the middle, but what I'm going to try to do is get 2 pieces here and a 3rd piece here. And I think if I can laminate the 3 pieces, then I can pretty quickly and easily get this project done. And here are the 3 pieces. I have the best faces on the outside and bits of tape on it. I'm going to use the super glue and tape trick. Okay, I have these glued together. I squared up this edge, and I'm going to use the pencil and the washer trick. Try to trace a nice line. Well, there you have it. Good enough for what I need. Accidentally dropped this on the floor and I mucked up this corner. So here are the 3 pieces. Now the trick is I need to cut away pretty much all of this one to just leave a little lip around the edge. Well, here are the 3 pieces. This is the piece, give the blade some room. I think this is going to work. I think the blade is a little bit thicker than the plywood. So if I want to glue this all the way around, I'm going to have to get a little bit of a relief back here where the spine is. Or another thought I had was I just wouldn't glue it the whole way. I'd allow this last few inches to spring a little bit and float. That might actually give this a little bit of grab onto the blade. It's times like these I wish I had 50 of these clamps. Wood glue will typically tack up in a matter of just a few minutes. What I'm trying to do is have these hold it in place. I'm going to clamp this. Best I can tell, it still looks pretty well aligned. Alright, I'll give that a while to set up. Okay, so here it is. Glue's nearly dry. That fits in there. And that will go over like so. And that's seeming good. Well, here it is, glued together and looking quite nice. And the knife slides in. If you look here, from about here on, there's a little bit of a split in the seam. There's no glue here, so this little bit of plywood is adding a bit of friction down in here. And that is more or less holding it on. So that worked out pretty well. If I didn't have a trick like that, the other option would be to embed a magnet or some other mechanism. But I think that works well. Now it's just a matter of how I want to finish it. I want to try to get it protected from the elements a little bit. Not that it's going to be out in the rain. And it is plywood, so no matter what you do, you're going to get this striping here. But I don't think that's much of an issue. And it's all sanded up. The plywood is very blonde, so I think it's going to be kind of drab looking as it is. Not a lot of character here, and these dark stripes are really going to stand out, I think, if I just finish it normally. So I'm tempted to try to darken it a bit, just to hide this striping here a bit. So I opted for this waterborne, this is a custom mix dark stain. I don't know if that's showing up, but it kind of looks like chocolate syrup. And I rubbed a little bit on this scrap of wood, and you can see that's kind of the color we're getting. And I think that's a good start anyway. Well, it's a different look. I think I like that a little better. Well, the brown stain is dry and it's looking good. It's a little splotchy, but since this came from wood of unknown integrity and origin, I can't be too picky. But for the purpose of this project, I think it's looking pretty good. And I think I'm going to top it off actually with a little traditional amber shellac. I think the yellow of the amber will warm this up and impart a nice little tone to it. And it'll dry quickly and I can get this project behind me. So this is the second coat and it's dry, and if I hold it against the light you can see not exactly smooth as glass, but if it's not against the light it looks pretty good. Probably going to add another coat or two now that this is dry. The beauty about shellac is you can build up the finish, so I'm going to sand it with some very worn sandpaper, just trying to knock down the high spots. And you can build up a coat that gets flatter and flatter. Not that that's what I'm going for, but I'm just really looking for a nice even sheen and sealing of the wood. Shellac isn't the most durable of all finishes, but this isn't exactly fine furniture or something like a table or a floor that needs a lot of protection. Well, and there she is. Looking good. It's 3 coats of shellac, a little too shiny, but I think that will dull with a little passage of time. Not a big fan of the uber shiny look. And the knife slides in and it holds it quite nicely. So that's all I got for this puppy. Hope you got something out of the video. As always, stay safe, take care, and check me out on the next one.